Is timing robbing you of both horsepower and fuel economy? Today we've got our shop truck Mater on the dyno, and we're gonna find out. In a recent podcast, we were talking about how different things affect your fuel economy, and if you really want to get the best of fuel economy, how to do it. Well, one of the things we mentioned was fuel timing. That is when the diesel enters the cylinder of the engine. And we were talking about that and how much of effect that has. And you guys mentioned in the comments that you really wanted to see a video actually showing how much of an effect that has. So what we're doing today is we're taking a truck here and we are going to be playing with it. We're going to detune it a bunch, not to that max power, 500 horsepower, 300 horsepower. We're at like 150, 200 horsepower, somewhere in that range. And we're going to see, when we play with the timing, change nothing else, how much horsepower difference does that make on the dyno? And that will directly correlate to mileage on the street. And so for that testing, we're using our shop truck, Mater. So this is Mater. Like to Mater, will happen to tuh. It's the PDD shop truck. We send employees to Home Depot, have them use it to haul pallets around, all that stuff. We actually saved it out of a farm field like 6 years ago. The engine was sitting on the bed. We ended up rebuilding it, throwing that in there. It's got a PDD 650 trans and some of our tuning. Otherwise, this thing is bone stock, which makes it a perfect candidate for our testing. Okay guys, quickly, I just want to go through and kind of show you the tuning that's currently in Mater and some of the changes we're going to be making here because we're doing some testing. So we need to really change some of the parameters of this thing. So first of all, let's look at what's in it currently. This is your US table. This is what tells the injector how long to stay open for. You can say in this very far right corner, that's your full throttle. When you floor it and everything else aligns, that's the US. We're at 2000. And then, like as you'd expect, tune 5 is a little bit spicier. We're up to 2800. There's different ways of doing it, but in this tune, that's how we are changing the horsepower level in the different tunes. Obviously, we're doing some testing now. We don't want fueling changes, so we're going to be taking every one of those tables, making them the exact same. And that holds true with your fuel pressure, with your pilot, with all these other aspects. The only thing we're changing is the timing table. So you can see here, we got low timing down low, high timing up top, and this is your fuel quantity on the top here. This is your RPM on the side. And so as you give it more throttle, it changes your timing and plays with stuff. But let me show you guys what we're actually going to be doing here. So we go to our actual calibration, which I wrote just a little bit ago. Every single tune is a 2400 US base. So that way everything is the exact same. Every fuel pressure table is the exact same. Everything's the exact same, except let's look at the timing here. In different podcasts, we've talked about it. We use the timing split calculator built into EFI. So you click that button there. This means this is your timing split. And it's a really easy way, especially for a beginner, to actually be able to tune it themselves, is you can go in and just specify the split. So for here, we hit 25%. That's 25% before and 75% after. EFI does all the math for you. It looks at the tables and says, okay, because of this, this, and this, I need to make the timing this in order to achieve that 25%. So this is tune 1. That's your 25 split. If we look at 3000 RPM at 75 mm cubed, that's 5.1 degrees. Now let's go to tune 2 and we look at the timing table. You can see we've gone up. 3075 is now 10 degrees. And if we go to the timing calculator, it's because I punched in 50%. So we have 5 different tune levels. We got 25, 50, 75, 100, and 125. Just to make sure we're all on the same page, 100% timing split means the injection event starts before top dead center and it ends exactly at top dead center. So you get 100% of the injection event before top dead center. That 125, that means if let's just say it's injecting for 1,000 US, if it's injecting for 1,000 US, it's going to start injecting 1,250 US before top dead center and finish 250 US after top dead center. So that's kind of how that math works. You can see there's a lot of timing in this. I wouldn't recommend going down the street with it, at least being very careful with it. You can see up here, lots and lots of timing. We would never want to run that. We got safeties everywhere else that will prevent that from ever happening, as well as the fact that we're capping your fuel at our 75 mm cubed. So you can again, though, see at 75, 3000, 25 degrees of timing. That's a lot, but we'll see what effects that has. So that is your timing. We are making it very static to where every tune is going to do a very predictable thing. The other thing we have to do here is we have to lower the horsepower. Instead of going through and doing it in the main injection pulse table, what we're doing is we're going to use that fuel limiter with boost table. So normally when you floor it, it gives it a little bit of fuel, spools the turbo. When the computer starts seeing boosts go up, it's going to give it more fuel. We're hijacking that table and using it for our own purposes. You can see here, this is kind of what a normal table would look like. A little bit of fuel out here, and as boost goes up, it starts giving it more and more fuel. What we're doing is we're hijacking that. We're changing it to this. It doesn't matter what boost does. We're going to be doing the same amount of fuel regardless. And so showing you this, we have a little bit more fuel just so it starts a little bit easier, and then we go to 40 mm cubed until 1400 RPM, and then it's going to fade to 70 mm cubed at 1600, and it's going to hold it that whole way. Doesn't matter what boost does, what happens, it's going to do the same thing. That way we can have really, really accurate and predictable tuning and effects, because let's just say higher timing is going to make less boost. I don't want to put a different fuel quantity in, so that's why we're getting rid of that. Lastly, and this is for just the testing side of things, we have to change the way the transmission shifts. We're starting that run at 1400. It's not going to want to stay locked up in whatever gear we want at full throttle at 1400 RPM. So we're going in and we're changing some of those governor pressure tables to just say, once it goes to whatever RPM, get it in third, keep it in third. And we're also changing the lockup table, so where it says once we get to 1100 RPM, lock it and don't unlock. That's more dyno stuff. And then we don't want it to go into overdrive. So what we're actually doing as well is we put the overdrive disable temperature at 50 degrees. So the moment this transmission is at 50 degrees, which it is right now, it will disable overdrive, and that will keep it from trying to do an upshift halfway through the run. So that is basically all the changes. And so now we're going to run it. So that was tune 1. We made 175 horsepower. Again, that is our 25% timing split. So it's 5 degrees at 3000 RPM. So now we're going to click tune 2 in this thing and start working our way up. Tune 2 in, 192 horsepower. That is a 17 horsepower bump. Pretty good. It is interesting to look at that data and compare the two runs. Solid horsepower bump. You can see even from the very bottom, it was happy with the change. Once we got all the way up here past like 2200 RPM, huge horsepower difference. Carried it way better. Out here at 3000 RPM, we're talking 162 to 182, a 20 horsepower bump just from timing. We're not throwing any more fuel in there. We're just burning that fuel better. Boost was basically the same. I think we were down about half a PSI. Interesting, EGTs, actually way more consistent than I thought. You can see like we're talking 4 degrees different. Once we get to about 2800 RPM, that's when the low timing really starts to choke. You can really see it. Temperature goes up, whereas the a little bit higher timing definitely helped not gain as much heat there. So pretty good difference at the end there. So yeah, now this is comparing a tune 1, which is 25 split, to tune 2, which is a 50 split. Now we're gonna go to tune 3, which will be a 75 split. So that means 75% of that injection vent is happening before top dead center, and 25 is happening after. Let's try it out. Tune 3 is in, that's at 75 split. That's 199 horsepower from our 192. So that's about a 7 horsepower bump. We go to the data, it actually shows the same thing. It's pretty cool. A nice 7 horsepower bump, kind of the whole way, a little bit more out here. You can see it's actually a lot happier out here at that 3,300 RPM, above 3,000, just because we're now being able to actually burn that fuel a bit more efficiently. EGTs are lower. You can see out here we drop over 40 degrees. So out here we got about 40 degree decrease, up here well over 40. And these runs are very consistent. The tune's doing all the work for us. So that 40 degrees, that is legit. And you can tell the boost is down as well. We're down about a full PSI, less EGTs, less energy for the turbo to run on, less boost. So that checks out and that makes sense. So that 75% split, now we're gonna go to tune 4, which will have 100% split. And we're getting up into the higher realm of where I'd run on the street. And then tune 5 is gonna be a lot, but we'll see what it does. 208 horsepower from 199. That Tune 4 is putting in work. It still likes that timing. Let's look at the data and kind of see what it says here. There you go. Still carrying it. Really, the main difference here is at that 3,000 RPM, which something to remember, you're not living at 3,000, 3,300 RPM all the time. So down here in the meat, that 2,000, 2,200 area, it's a little bit of an upgrade. It's definitely bumping up a little bit, not a lot. EGTs are a little bit cooler, talking about 20, 24, 25, 30 degrees or so. So still good gains. Boost is even lower. So far, still looking good. We're gonna try Tune 5 now. That's 125% split. Tune 5, 218 horsepower. That's again another 10 horsepower bump. That's pretty solid. Looking here at the data, it's solid. Like it picked up the whole way. EGTs are lower, boost is down. Kind of the same trend we've seen the whole way. It definitely liked it up top there. We picked about 12 horsepower up top. Good bump. 125 is like, that's like kind of one of the highest I'd want to run on the street, just going down the road. I mean, this is 25 degrees at 3,000 RPM. That is a good amount. So definitely a little risky going up higher. In the name of science, we are going to go to 150% split. Kind of see what that does. That'll be 30 degrees at 3,000 RPM. 100 RPM per degree is kind of like my general max safe. Just it's a good rule of thumb to go with. Like your max effort tunes a lot of time are right there in that range. So we're doing that at like 150, 200 horse. So we'll see what it does. I'm not sure what to expect, but we'll give it a shot. So call it Tune 6, 150%. We lost power. That was 215 horsepower from 218. And if you look at the data here, we are dropping power. We only dropped 3 horsepower up top where it peaked, but in the meat, we dropped 7, 8 horsepower. EGTs were lower. That makes sense. When you lose power from too much timing, it's a very cringy process where instead of the piston going all the way up, it starts coming down, combustion happens and pushes it all the way. Now the piston's still going up and the combustion process happens. That is a lot of cylinder pressure. That's what robs your horsepower. It's not head gasket friendly. It's not bottom end friendly. It's just not a great thing to happen, but it is cool to see it. EGTs dropped, boost dropped. It all makes sense. So this is pretty crazy. We just tested all the way from a 25% split of 5 degrees to a 150% split, which is 35 degrees at 3,000 RPM. So let's go to the computer and actually take a closer look at this data. So it's pretty crazy that we've been showing you the data after every single run. We're picking up 20 horsepower, we're picking up 10 horsepower, we're dropping 10 degrees out of EGTs. But what's really wild is when you look at where we started and where we ended up. So our absolute worst run was that 25% split. Keep in mind, factory timing on this exact truck was right around there. They're doing different stuff with pilot, they're doing different stuff with fuel pressure, so it's not an apples to apples, but it's pretty close to what the factory is doing, like straight off the lot, that 25% split. Then our best number, that 125% split, check out the difference there. We've got huge, I mean, you see 10 degrees, 20 degrees at a time. This is start to finish. Like, look at how much more power. And the crazy thing here, it's the exact same quantity of fuel, same dollars worth of fuel going out the tailpipe, way more performance out of that fuel. Looking at it here, obviously 3,000, 3,300, huge difference. You're towing out here, no brainer. But even in the meat, let's call it at 2,400 RPM, where you're towing, we've got a 55 degree decrease in fuel, or in EGT, and we've got a 25-ish, call it 22, whatever horsepower increase in power. So not only are you going to be accelerating up that grade, towing that trailer, whatever you're doing faster, being able to hold speed better, but you're going to be doing it at a cooler EGT, so the rest of the system's happy. And look at the boost. It dropped. We were talking about half a PSI, whatever here and there. We dropped about 3 degrees out of boost. What's awesome with that is boost goes into your intercooler and heat soaks your radiator because it's right in front. Dropping boost while making everything else better is generally a good call. So that is sweet. Everything here, everything's happier with timing. Now, something to note. You shouldn't, like we were talking about, you went 150% is too much, 120 is a good amount. When an engine is completely heat soaked, you're going up a grade for hours on end, whatever it is, that heat in the cylinder will artificially increase your timing a little bit, get it to burn a little bit sooner. That's why that 120% split worked really good on the dyno. In practice, going like a steady state tune that you want to be able to floor it in forever long, you're going to be closer to that 80 to 100. But the gains are still there. You can see the difference it makes, and it is very impressive. And it's really cool to finally be able to do this testing. Like it's always fun to show just how these little things that we take for granted actually affect and be able to show you guys. Well, there you guys have it. It's awesome because videos like this happen because you guys request it. We've done the testing in the past, and this is nothing really new for us, but it's information that we take for granted, and it's really cool to be able to share it with you guys. So if you enjoy these videos, make sure to comment and tell us more ideas like this that you want to see, share it with your buddies, and subscribe to the channel.